So next time, Drew,
Hello.
really wear that halter top, okay?
I will.
I'm curious about this top.
I want to see it.
you
I
know,
think you'd look good in it.
it rides a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it chafes. And
It's okay, we'll
Well,
still
you got a
make
little
expansion.
fat. I mean, it was
and
a smaller
I
size
put
for you.
on, I put on that COVID-19, if you know what I mean. That 19 pounds.
That
Things don't
COVID-19.
fit right.
I bet you still look
Shimmy it
cute.
up,
I bet
dude.
you still look cute in that
I
little
do.
halter top.
Now this got weird. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trailer Talk. I'm Drew, along with Steph, Pagan, and PJ, aka Grouchy Pants, as we like to call him. Today we are doing something probably the most anticipated movie of the year. I would think, maybe the biggest movie of the year, maybe the biggest movie ever. Who knows?
Of our lifetime?
Again, Avatar. Finally, after how long? 10 years? 15 years? I don't even know.
14?
Uh,
No,
Airbender.
yeah, 14
12.
years.
12,
12?
14. It was supposed to come out in 2014 originally.
Yeah, it seems like to the point where you're like, did James Cameron just like go off and like find on a sabbatical and decide like I'm gonna just take my time on this?
I think he was just floating in a water tank, just like really trying to be
Seriously,
water.
like this might be the longest runway for a sequel ever. I don't even understand. Like even Star Wars, gosh, I guess Star Wars maybe, but that does that count because those were prequels? I don't even know.
Did he make
So
anything
No,
in between?
I don't think they count. They don't count.
I don't think so. I think he's just been working
He's
on
just
all
been.
this.
Can you
Like,
imagine
I think
that salary? I've been working on Avatar 14 years now.
Totally.
all
What
right
do you
dragging
do?
it out.
I'm in costumes.
Well, they were doing all of them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they were
2 and
doing
3.
2 and 3, and then I think production
There's gonna
on
be
4 or pre-production on
on a
4 and 5.
Yeah. This is gonna be the. This is
He's
his
trying to
magnum
recreate Star
opus,
Wars
like-
in a sense because the next ones
Yeah.
are going to other planets. So he's trying to
Really?
Lucas it. He feels that way.
I'm
He's
alright with
got his
that. I
own
wanna
theme
go to
park.
different
He's
planets.
got his own theme park already.
We're in Disneyland, Disney World. I haven't been. I hear it's great. The Tree of Life is there.
I imagined that before it happened.
Where is it at? Where is the theme park?
Wait, what? Are you
Disney World.
serious?
Disney World. Disney World.
Yeah.
You know what? Come on, like think about what that guy with Terminator and Aliens and Titanic
Yeah.
and Avatar. Like talk about unbelievable movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
the
I'm
guy is just
excited.
known. The guy's known for just the biggest blockbusters there is. I mean, honestly, if you look at like the top 10 grossing movies of all time, it's like George Lucas, James Cameron, and that's and then like Disney
And-
movies,
and
and then
that's-
Marvel movies, and then
And
everything
Joey
else.
Saldana was in all of them.
And, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
Great casting. Perfect.
So
Can you imagine being her? In Star Trek, done that.
no.
Guardians of the Galaxy, done that. Avatar, done that. You know, like, it's just there's another one she was in, a big one. There's another big chain she's in. Is she
yeah.
in Westworld? No, it's not her.
No,
No,
that's
she's-
No,
Sandy
That's
Newton.
another
yeah,
good one.
That's
Sandy Newton. But she's in another big series. Zaldana is
She is. She's in a ton of stuff.
Star Trek, Guardians, Avatar.
Avatar. I'm looking now. It's not.
She's in a Star. Is she? No, Pirates of the Caribbean.
She's
She was in the first
Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. the
Oh,
first
she
one.
was in.
Can you
Curse of
imagine what a
Black
resume?
What a resume.
Well, I did an independent film last year in Texas.
Pearl. Well, I mean, when you think about it, though, like the first Avatar was like early in her career, like right, and, along with Star
Right.
Trek. I think Avatar and Star Trek kind of like were around the same time in that like launched her career. Can you imagine? And then
Yeah.
she's like, well, yeah, now I'm a superstar. I'm super mega star.
Yeah.
So like we've been waiting for this trailer to drop. We knew Avatar was coming at the end of this year, and like we have no one's seen nothing. Like this thing has been in a vault. Like we haven't seen. I think they released a few screenshots. Like
He's been
a few months
very
ago.
he's been very quiet about it. He's
This
very
is-
secretive. Even
Yeah,
the technology.
Right,
Yeah.
and which is strange knowing the times we live in, and how even Star Wars stuff got leaked, right? You know, like even the new Star Wars movies and Harry Potter, all that stuff seems to get leaked. I mean, we find out that like Marvel films seem to not care anymore. I mean, I feel like my Twitter feed every other day is like, here's a screenshot of like so and so running down the street in whatever town in Europe, you know. So you can.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say, I mean, surely it's harder to leak something like this, which is the majority like CGI.
Right.
Like it's all
It's
computer
harder.
generated. So
I
it's
got a
much
buddy. I
harder
was out
to-
for dinner with him the other night, and he runs one of those great big uh, After Effects companies where they have their own private T1 lines where they send the stuff in. And getting into the and out of that place and logging into your computer, it's worse than the TSA, which probably isn't that much anyways.
Yeah, or the
Uh,
CIA.
yeah, so it's insane what you have to go through for this very, very reason, so nobody leaks shit.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it, the technology they got to do, like he shot this 48 frames per second on 4K cameras in 3D.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if that doesn't look good out of the gate, right? So if
Yeah.
somebody starts, pulling some screen grabs on that and sending it out, they're going to be like, "What? This is shit." And he starts getting a negative thing up front. You don't want all that bad press. So
Yeah,
be smart to
yeah.
keep it tight.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like to Bacon's point, I mean, it's 99% of this film is computer graphics, so it's like you get the dailies, and you're like, that's just Zoe Saldana with her face all with dots on it,
Dotted
like
up.
doing shit. You know,
But the thing
so
is,
it's not.
they didn't.
It's more
They
like
didn't.
this
Yeah.
is more video game than movie. You
Yeah.
know, it's
But
a-
they didn't do animatronics, or they didn't do CGI and put them fake water. They literally put
Yeah.
them in
Water
suits
tanks.
in tanks.
in
They had to
tanks, yeah.
develop new technology to do motion capture underwater and sound capture underwater. So that's why this shit takes so long, because he's got to wait for technology. They're
Yeah,
going to
to
invent this
catch
shit
up.
so it works.
Yeah, he's known for that. Like even when he did The Abyss and Terminator 2, he invents techniques and he pushes the boundaries of special effects. Like I remember the liquid.
Yeah,
Liquid,
that Avatar guy. Yeah, I know what you're talking
the
about. You're
the
talking about
in
Terminator.
well,
Yeah, look at
it was
Terminator
similar
2.
technology from The Abyss. So
Yeah.
in The Abyss, they created
Yeah.
like this liquid water that could like kind of manipulate and change form, and then he took that and in Terminator 2 made the liquid metal Terminator, which I mean, so he's always kind of saying like, here's how I'm going to push the boundaries of technology. I remember just before we watched the trailer, I remember watching the first Avatar. I remember watching they did you could get an early ticket for free and watch like 20 minutes of Avatar in like an IMAX 3D. And I was like, yeah, sure. And we played hooky for work for like, we went and me and a couple buddies from work went and saw Avatar, and we're walking like, oh,
I
yeah,
was with you.
3D. Were you? Yeah, 3D
Yeah.
glasses. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of silly, right? Like 3D. They showed 20 minutes of that movie and 3D. I was like, this is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I loved it. I loved it. Let's watch the trailer. Come on. There's so much to talk
Alright,
about. Throw the trailer up.
Okay. All right. All right. Has everybody got the trailer up? You guys ready to go?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Avatar. The Way of
Avatar.
Water.
The way of the water.
The way of water.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. I'm actually really excited. Ooh, we know this place.
Yeah.
You're so happy.
They got
I
the
just
eyes
think-
so well.
It's beautiful.
Oh, did you see the creature in the water?
Oh, this is cool.
This is where I want to go on vacation.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Hawaii.
Like,
When
fucking
can we
hell.
go?
That looks amazing.
Here we go. Now we're underwater.
Wow, look at that. Look how good that looks.
What's that? Okay, so
No,
humans
not
are still
these
here.
people.
Humans are still very much a
Our
threat.
back.
Oh, they're back. Oh, who's this guy?
Jeez.
Oh, he's not happy about it, and he's got an
human.
arrow.
Wow, look at that.
She's beautiful.
Wherever we go, this family.
Oh my god, I just got goosebumps.
The music.
What?
Is our fortress.
Nice.
Oh, they look so good. Wow.
God, it gives me goosebumps.
Let's do that again.
That was cool.
That was
Can we really-
fucking
music.
awesome.
That
Wow,
was super cool.
that was really cool.
That was super cool. I have
I
so much
mean-
to say. You just tell me when I can go.
I mean, I'm just gonna jump in because here's that's how you do a teaser trailer, folks. I mean, like one line of dialogue, selling the mood, just gorgeous visuals. I mean, that music, that score. they don't really give anything away. Everything's a question. They show some characters. We don't know who they are. We don't know what's going on, but we just know we're back in the world of Pandora. We see some familiar places, but then they show us some brand new stuff that is just like, what is
Right.
happening? This is gorgeous. I almost feel like this is like a showcase more than it is a trailer. Like this is just this to me just makes me feel like, okay, James Cameron, you the time you took and you spent it well. This looks amazing. Like the
Yeah.
quality, it's just so crisp. I don't even understand how good it looks. It looks a thousand times better than any Marvel film I've seen recently. I mean, that's how much better the graphics here, the CG looks. It looks mind blowing.
I
That's
think
all
that
I
has
have
to do with the way he does the frame rate and the capturing, but this whole thing on the technology side of what he does and how some will play it back at different frame rates, but he does it all so that you don't get that strobing and blurring and stays in this sweet spot, and I think it pays off in spades.
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of this. I know some people don't like Avatar for the story or they think it's a ripoff of Fern Gully. I think he's using this teaser to remind you of it and, go back and take a peek at it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
My fear with sequels of this scope is, I know you've heard me talk about it, Drew, is the wonderment, right? When you see when the first time you're in Pandora and the first time you see those creatures and it's just that wonder. It's like when you go to Hogwarts for the first time, it's just wow.
Right. Yeah.
Going back in a sequel, it's it's Hogwarts again. Yeah, I saw this. Oh, we're back on Pandora. And when you landed there the first time, when he gave you the old stuff, I was a little worried. I'm like, ooh, but this is supposed to be underwater. I think he did that on purpose, just to. It's been fucking 14 years. You know what I mean? I think he did it to remind you of just how amazing it is, and then he hits you with that shot with the girl under the water.
Yeah.
My understanding from what I've been learning is that practically the whole movie takes place underwater, and they didn't give you a lot of that here.
No,
Yeah.
I
They
didn't
didn't give
know
you- they
that.
didn't
Now that
give
you
you-
say that, I'm like, really? Does it? Because it doesn't look like
Well,
it.
Yeah, so basically the idea is that the guys come back, like the people come back, the
Right.
humans, and you remember in the first one, they kicked them off, and they did it by uniting all the tribes, but apparently they didn't unite one of the tribes, and this was this water tribe, and this water tribe has an extra problem
Right.
with the rest of the peeps, so they have to go, so they know they're coming back, they have to get this water tribe to come help. And I guess you're going to have a fight before the big fight, before the human fight, because they need the help of this water tribe. But I think it's smart of Cameron to give us this
That's
water
clever.
world because of the issue of wonderment. And then they talk about in the other sequels, they're leaving the planet. They're going to other planets in the solar system. So, that's why I said he's doing the Lucas thing. When you look at science fiction and television, you get that. I mean, look at Star Trek, right? They'd go to a new planet all the time, and you had that new wonderment, and then the characters reacted, and the characters were the characters. So you had Spock and everybody. They always reacted the same way, but it was a new scenario, so it was kind of fun. A lot of sequels, I feel personally, is that when you come back to the same place, unless the story is unbelievable or the characters are unbelievable, it's kind of like, been there, done that. Spider-Man does it because they give you a different villain every time, right? You get the wonderment of the new villain. So I think
Well-
I think he kind of
So I totally agree with you because you're kind of like, oh well, who are you up against this time? And then I saw that there's an article saying that Stephen Lang's character is going to be back and is going to be
Right.
a continued villain throughout the
You
series.
see him. He's a.
Yeah.
He's
Do you
in
think so,
Avatar
or is it
form.
going to be
He's in-
flashbacks?
What? In this?
Because
No, he's in an Avatar form because I had to look it
well-
up because I was just thinking about
because
it.
he ended the last movie full of arrows, right?
Yeah, he
Right.
dies. I mean, it looks pretty obvious that he's
Dead.
not
Yeah.
like it.
There's a shot at
like-
like 112, 113 of a man, and on
Alright,
his
hold on,
arm
let
is
me
like an
find that.
eagle tattoo or
Oh,
whatever.
so
it
maybe
is, and
they
it's him.
ported his soul. He's going to be this forever.
Yeah, well, and I
Interesting.
think that's it's sort of like in Sigourney Weaver.
So he's a traitor. He's going to
is
help
back.
He's
There's a lot
Vin
of the cast
Diesel's
that's
in
back.
this. Vin Diesel's
Yeah.
in this.
He
Kate
is.
Winslet's in this.
Yeah.
So
And
so
That's a
there's
big cast.
pictures of her.
the thing is though, like I mean,
Underwater training.
I saw that as well, Drew, that Sigourney Weaver is going to come back, and I thought like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of makes sense. And somebody was like, oh, it's not going to be the same character. I think it was James Cameron. He was like, it's not going to be the same character. She's going to be back,
Mm-hmm.
but she's not going to come back as like Grace. But I think then the natural progression of that is, I presume they still have Awa, right? Because her consciousness was absorbed
Right.
into Awa, and I'm
Right.
wondering like if she would be then the voice that Awa uses to talk through in English. Like
Could
if anyone needs to speak English to people and humans, and then I feel like that could be her voice. That's good to me. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Stephen Lang's character like really died, like super dead.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm so interested to be like, so did they transfer his consciousness? Did they make a clone? Like, is it just a robot version of him?
Could be.
I'm sure he's
So
not
if you remember
thrilled.
Sam Worthington, Jake Sully, his character was the brother of
Oh, the twin
like
brother.
a twin brother. So
Yeah, 'cause that's why his
I wonder if
genetic
they're gonna like
material works.
dual like so Stephen Lang, the Colonel, what was his Colonel Quadrich or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has a twin brother. So I wonder if
That's
there's like a similar
interesting.
storyline where his twin brother's like, I'm going to avenge my brother, and he puts himself into an avatar like Jake did, you know, and sort of to
Looks a
learn the
lot like
ways.
Jake's avatar.
I want to watch
You
it
guys
now. I
know
want to
that
buy my
face.
ticket right now. I want to
Yeah,
see it right
yeah.
now.
Totally
I know.
agree.
James Cameron?
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah, please.
talk a little bit about, you know, so in the original, you know, people kind of shit on it. American culture is great for shitting on things. Once it gets super famous, they try to tear it down. They, you know, it's the words like unobtainium. I mean, who that had to be a placeholder that just kept going through the script and nobody remembered to change it.
But
And then
yeah.
they're bitching that it was a rematch of Fern Gully. His themes are simple, you know, and I think
Yeah.
some people want it to be more complex. And I again, in this teaser, I was a little nervous because it's obviously the theme about keeping the family together. I'm sorry, it's that been done to death and in movies. And I don't want to say it's lazy because it's a good theme. I'm family man, but it's a little bit like that's it. That's what we're gonna go after here is the family one. Okay, I'll go along for the ride, but I'm kind of people are going to jump on this again because it's simplistic in its themes.
I think, yeah, I see what you mean, but he complicates it a little bit, you know, like, I mean, with the family and stuff like that, it's not quite so simple, and I'm super interested to see that his avatar that was, like, I guess manufactured, has kids.
Yeah, how the hell do you have a baby?
He has kids, and
know.
then there's this human that's running around with them, and then there's kind of the shot where
Yeah.
Jake is like holding the kid, I presume kid, young man,
know.
to his like chest with the dreads, and I'm like, so other kid?
It's an adopted.
Right, but he's got
I
a
think he
human
adopts-
face though.
Oh, an adopted
He had a
Yeah, he
human
adopts.
face.
It's an adopted. I believe it's an adopted kid. I think they've
Like
they've
from the
gone out to
war,
say-
like someone just left behind after
Yes.
the
Yeah,
Someone
we
humans
don't
left.
know. Yeah, we don't quite know. You know, and obviously, you know, because he's wearing the breathable masks, right?
Right.
Because humans can't breathe in Pandora's atmosphere.
Pandora.
So yeah, so it's interesting. So they obviously have to keep finding him like air, you know, to
Right.
breathe as well. So that's probably a plot point, or maybe they solved it. But it's also interesting that this picks up like midway through. Like they have kids. Like we're not seeing.
Well,
this
they got to
isn't,
get
like,
that
right after
army's
the
got to go
film.
all the way home. They got to go all the way
Come all the way
home
back,
and come
yeah.
all the way back.
True,
So some
yeah.
time
Yeah.
has got to pass.
Yeah, so it's been about. I think they say in the description of the trailer, it's like a decade has passed. Like, so it's almost like 1-1 with how long we've waited for the movie. So it's been like 10 years. So
Does anybody know how far away Pandora is supposed to be?
I don't.
I forget.
know.
Yeah, I forget.
sure
They definitely
they-
did say at some
I'm
point.
sure there's somebody out there that knows. Yeah.
I think
Was
at
there
the
any
very
sort of
beginning, the
portal
movie
they
talked
went
about-
through? Because if we do the math, if you get
Yeah,
anywhere near the
we
speed
don't
of
really
light,
see that. We just really see the show kind of
suppose.
opens up on Earth, and Jake is sort of like being recruited and saying like, "Hey, your brother," you know, and then he gets on the ship and he kind of wakes up at Pandora. So, but he's in cryo, so we don't know how long the journey. I
Right,
don't know.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
they
yeah.
say. I don't remember. They might
I think
say
they
it.
said.
I feel like they do. I feel like Grace says it at some point. Chat, comments, let us know.
Yeah, help us out
if it's
on that.
definitely there. I haven't watched this in a while, but I will be rewatching it before seeing this.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to do that too. We got some time. It's only May.
I do want to.
I
I do
know,
want to touch on the fact that like look, I'm a big fan of this. This is one of my highly anticipated films of the year. I'm so excited to go see it. When we first saw it, I was like, it's Fern Gully. Sorry, it totally is.
6 years.
But I was like, oh, it's Fern Gully, but it's fucking dope. And we saw it in 3D, and it was one of the movies at the time that actually made us like go and get like a 3D television so that we could experience this at home as
wow.
well. And we have it on Blu-ray, like
cool.
4K Blu-ray. Yeah, so good. Here's something interesting though that I did read is that James Cameron last year said that he would like to make this film 3D but no glasses. Something
Yeah.
that's only been achievable on 3DS, Nintendo 3DS so far. And
And
I
that-
was like,
even that's not a great experience.
maybe don't. Yeah, I was like, if you're gonna base
Yeah.
it on
Is there a
Nintendo 3DS, I was like,
non-3D
maybe
version?
don't.
I
Yeah,
hope
Is there a
so.
non-3D version?
He
I hope
shot
so. I
it.
hate
He
watching
shot it in
3D movies.
3D, but you can watch it without 3D.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There'll be no, even the original Avatar came
Yeah,
out
yeah.
in like
For the
3D, and you could
simpletons.
watch it
And
without.
Are you
Yeah,
going to
for
go
Some people
3D or
just-
non-3D? I don't like
Oh,
the glasses are distracting for me.
Oh
I would
no,
watch it in
I
3D.
forget. So full disclosure, I saw Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness over the weekend, and they premiered, and we went to the 3D showing just so we could watch the Avatar in 3D. I mean, Doctor Strange was great in 3D too, but I wanted to see the Avatar trailer in 3D, and it looked phenomenal.
Aw,
Listen,
class.
he listen, 3D generally sucks. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Like most movies really suck in 3D, and here's why. Most of them aren't shot in 3D
Agreed.
because it's expensive, and they do like a post production 3D conversion on it, and it's not great. You can sort of like it feels like it's gimmicky, right? You know, they're throwing stuff at you, and the depth of field always feels like they actually make depth of field happen. Like
Yeah,
it sort of
they
feels like
force
they're
it.
blurring. Yeah, and it doesn't quite. It never quite works 100%. Sometimes it's good. Some versions have been good. Most of the time it's crap. But Avatar, man, like it felt awesome. Like in the theater in 3D, I remember that as being like, wow, this is an experience, and that's what you want when you
I'll
go
have
to a
to go
movie theater.
twice. I'll have to
Yeah.
go twice.
And you forget, man,
Happily.
you forget the glasses are on you like 10 minutes into the film. Like you don't even remember. Like they're gone.
hate
Like you're immersed. Like it doesn't even matter.
Now we're gonna have that condom argument.
It's because you don't have
Someone
you don't have the right
okay, so
fitting
here,
condom.
so someone says it's 4.4 light years away. So now I need to know how they have to travel because remember they leave and come back. So
I
if they were
Googled
going
it.
to,
It's
it's what?
But they're probably not going to Earth. They're probably going to an outpost.
Still 4.4
no,
light years
he
away.
was-
If
he
they travel
started out on
50% of the speed of light, Earth would age 3 million years in the first 6 months. So the time is going to bug me. So they
Quick
have to, I need a
math,
wormhole.
friends.
according
need
to this,
some
it says 6
argument.
years.
I don't
It's
even
like a
think he's gonna get into
one-way
that.
trip.
No, I don't think
No.
he's getting into that at all.
I don't
That's
think he
why I
cares.
wonder, did they do
It's not about-
a wormhole or something? I know
Yeah.
that stuff
Like, they
bugs
never
me
did
though.
in the
That
first
shit
one.
bugs
Really?
me.
I mean, who cares? They
Yeah,
show up on
that
the planet.
bugs
Who
me.
cares? They
Yeah.
have faster than light travel.
The
Who gives a
planet
shit
is
how?
there.
You don't
Yeah,
need
I
to see
mean,
them get there.
yeah, I hear you, PJ. I kind of nerd it. If they showed it, I'd probably nitpick it, but it's
I
sort of
like
like
them just to
they have
nod to it. It's a little obvious. I love the ones in the movies now where it's like, oh, you got no service too? Yeah, I got no service. It's weird. Like how to get rid of the cell phones in horror movies now.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah, yeah.
To make it more grounded. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, is this something like it sounds like everybody's in for this, but
Oh,
like,
yeah.
are you worried though? Like, so here's my word. Like, I have a similar word to you, PJ, where they start to bring in like family and like younger kids. It feels less of an adult film. They sort of have to like the moment you bring kids into a movie,
Disney's involved.
you have
were
to
they involved
you,
in the first one?
You have to change like how it changes something about the movie, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to sort of placate to that idea that there's children watching this now too. It seems like sometimes the themes get dumbed down. And the dialogue is always kids' dialogue never seems to sort
Yeah,
of
I
resonate.
agree.
That
hope
is my
not.
one worry. I don't know if you guys have any of those.
I can agree with
concerns.
that. I was looking at pictures the other day for this movie because I was curious, and I saw like all these like Entertainment Weekly group photos of like the new kids, like the new generation of Avatar, and I was like, wait, what? Like I was so confused because I didn't realize that there are all these kids, and I think it does change. Like, I think it'll be okay because I think you're still going to be focused on, our main characters, but they're clearly still going to be there. I don't know, because the first one, it just had such, I don't want to say scary, but like a really realistic aspect, like of their home being torn up and him trying to come in and save the day. So I'm curious now moving forward, what the story is going to be like, and I hope
Yeah.
it doesn't get too like
They
family
say the
friendly.
kid's it's a breakout kid. Like the kid really steals the movie. I
They always
read
say
about
that.
that.
Yeah,
I actually
So
don't.
from an
I
editor's
don't
POV
disagree. I think they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
From,
Yeah,
from an editor's POV, when this is one of those movies where when it's over and you sit to go through the credits, it's like 17 hours of visual effects guys that are listed, 6-point type, 4
Yeah.
rows. The my question is Steph, could you work on that one piece of 7 seconds of footage for 8 months? Making your little piece perfect. How that
It
must
would
get
take a lot of
monotonous.
patience. It would take a lot of patience. And then, like, I feel like, the amount of nitpicking, like, I think it just depends, too, like, on the director. Like, I think, like, visually, this is beautiful. So I think I wouldn't mind, but I
Well,
don't
Cameron's
know.
notorious. He's notorious for doing it a certain way, and just
Yeah.
it's grueling. It's
Oh,
just
wow. A
it,
certain way. It's his way.
yeah.
This
There
is
is no
beautiful.
yeah.
Like, this is so
It's his way or
realistic.
no way.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when back in the '90s when I was
Yeah.
running around in the independent circle. There, you didn't want to like the big movies because everybody was about independence. But I had a buddy of mine whose mom worked with Cameron, and I think she was a costume designer in the Titanic or something like that. And
Oh, wow.
he had Cameron's original script. And you know how most scripts are about a thumb thick? This was your fist thick.
Oh my
And
god.
the original Titanic script was like that thick. And
Wow.
we would nerd over that thing. It was just every detail. He's just
See,
so
I don't know, I think
OCD on stuff.
he's meticulous.
I like
but
that, though.
yeah, come on. Like, I mean, it obviously pays off.
When did it not work?
Yeah, when did it not work?
not
Exactly.
work?
And
True Lies. I love True Lies.
True Lies is amazing.
Come on, like
It-
when did it
yeah.
not work?
he's like
Yeah.
he's
I
think for
continually
me-
trying to break boundaries and rules and like create
Yeah.
the technology, and I think that's really cool. And I think that's why I'm probably so excited about this film, because I think it will open up more for the future. Like, if he's using this technology, maybe he's actually created all of this technology, and then it'll open up more for everybody else in the future to use and to grow from that. And I think it's really cool. Like, they're breaking fucking records and shit on set. Apparently,
yeah.
Kate Winslet held her breath for 7 minutes,
Yes.
which is the
I saw that
longest
The
picture.
kids, the kids had to train for 6 months to learn how to hold their breath underwater
Yeah.
crazy.
prior to shooting.
Yeah, to free dive.
They're getting paid for that. They're getting paid for that.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
For that
yeah,
training time.
And I
yeah, all
don't
that
think
train-
it's not hard. I'm sure it's really fucking difficult. But like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. Fun fact,
Well,
fun
I mean,
fun
listen-
connection. There's
Yeah, go ahead.
Britton Dalton is in this as a character called Loak. He's one of the Na'vi, and I think he's probably one of the kids. And he played young Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4.
There you go.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at
really?
that.
Yeah.
How far one
That's
comes.
cool.
Yeah, there you go.
In another crazy fact is studios hate movies that film in water.
Yep.
Really?
Water,
So, 'cause-
babies, and dogs.
Yeah, it's
Animals.
so most studios they actually built like tanks now, like huge tanks to film like underwater scenes in now, like these like big like closed like places where you can control like waves and do stuff. But like films like, if you remember Waterworld, right? It was like was supposed to be like one of the biggest blockbuster movies ever. But it was notoriously over budget because like typhoons would come in and they'd have to shut down production, and it would destroy the sets, right? Like these huge storms would come through and just eviscerate like the entire like sets, and crew would be in danger. and
Pirates
they
of the
would, like,
Caribbean happened. That too
That
happened to
happened
them.
to
too.
Romeo
yeah,
and
Pirates of the
Juliet.
Caribbean. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and so for James Cameron to come in and be like, okay, great. So I want to spend 10 years on making a movie in water. Like, if I was a studio exec, I'd be like, are you fucking crazy? Like, this.
No,
I don't
they were
even,
like, James Cameron, sure. Where do we write? Where do we
Sure,
sign up?
pretty
Where
much.
do we write the
Yeah,
check?
pretty-
How much did you
James
need?
Cameron,
And
You've
Red
made
Bull
us,
Bubbles?
Like,
So
would the
rich.
first Avatar make
Yeah.
1.8 billion or something? I don't know where the number
for a
is.
while,
What
it was the
first
highest.
one?
It was the
Yeah.
highest grossing movie of all time.
Up
Yeah, for a while.
until I forget.
2.78 billion.
Until Endgame.
Billion.
Yeah,
Yeah, until
Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah.
And I think is Endgame still in the lead? I think so.
I think so, and I think didn't they? I think he's going to re-release Avatar before the
Yeah, he will.
the
Oh, that'd
second
be
one
good.
comes out.
Yes.
You know,
And-
little touched
and-
up.
Absolutely.
touched up,
Fucking
maybe a little
3D
something,
and everything.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
that
just to remind people what they're
CGI
missing.
was
And
mind-blowing
I wouldn't doubt
out.
that it takes the #1 spot again.
No, yeah.
Past Endgame.
I
And
think
then
so.
Endgame will come out for like the 10-year anniversary of Endgame, and it'll take the
Yeah.
top spot.
It'll just be the
just be a
constant.
back and forth. Yeah,
Typical.
yeah, it'll be like,
Typical.
"Ha-ha."
Just this race.
You know
'Cause
what I
those
did
are the
notice
only movies.
was missing was the was it Turok, the giant bird that he sort of like tames at
yeah,
the end of
Truck
the movie.
Mactao. He became Truck
Yeah.
Mactao.
It's interesting. Like, we don't see a glimpse of Turok, but we do get a glimpse of some badass underwater whale type thing. I wonder. So, is there an underwater version of the Turok? Mactao,
think so.
right? Like,
Well, it kind of said it in the first film that he only needed it for that, and he didn't need it anymore, so it just sort of flew
He
away,
let
and
it
it would
go.
come
Yeah.
come back when it's needed, where like the
Yeah.
unified force would be needed again, this type thing. So maybe you're right. Maybe one of them becomes that of the sea, or of the
Yeah.
water, I guess, because he's that of the skies.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think they
it's
do
so
have
cool.
those for the water.
Yeah.
But okay, so
What's that
on your Fern Gully point though, there is definitely a shot here that I'm like, that is so Fern Gully though.
Oh yeah, when they're going into like the trees, like, and it looks at you.
I was
I don't
thinking
know,
more
that felt very
this.
Ferngully.
Do you remember when they're like dancing and they're like touching in the puddles on the thing and they light up?
It's been so long since I've seen that.
I just thought, like, watching the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks really familiar. And then now I'm thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's Fern Gully. And they're like
I'll have to go back and watch
dancing in the
it and
puddles.
tell
They
you.
all
Gully
light
was a
up.
good movie too.
It was a good movie. And I actually think Avatar is better. But I just thought, when you said Fern Gully, I'm like, oh my god, that's where that's from. Yeah, looks great. Can't wait.
Yeah, and so how do you think they up the stakes? So like, so imagine you're humans. You just got kicked off the planet, right? Like, are you coming back with a bigger, better army? Like, what's your game plan? Are you? And it looks like from the trailer they're gonna play the like we're gonna infiltrate them, becoming the Na'vi, or play them at their own game, right? Like, clearly they're better,
I think that's what they're
stronger,
doing.
right, than us, and so they're gonna like maybe create an army of Na'vi, you know? I mean,
think
I mean, can you guys speculate? What would your game plan be?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I think that's what my game plan would be. Like, because you see, they already have done a few, and it looks like they're building some pretty big rigs, and a lot of like big outposts. I have no idea, but they have like tons and tons of, I don't even know what those are, like trains or something in the background. Like, they're clearly moving equipment to around this
Yeah.
large facility.
I can go towards that, actually.
And I think they even have like an underwater version of those helicopters for like
really?
submarines. Like, I think I saw like a picture or something like that. So they're clearly, I think there's going to be some major like underwater battles.
So do you think
I
they've
don't
been
know
at
if I'd be into that.
Yeah, I know. I hear you too. Like Aquaman. I was kind of like, even the underwater stuff there. I was like, I have no
Oh,
idea.
it's at 117. That's where the image is.
Yeah. So I guess it's sort of like, I'm trying to put it all together, right? Like, so they leave, but then like, the tree was destroyed anyway, but the place where like the deposit of the unobtainium is still like, is it always being protected? Do they come back to there? Do they find another source? Like, what's their motivation? Is it revenge? We just gotta wipe them out? Like, humans are just mad. But Cameron's always very political, right? Like, so is it still gonna be like the first movie was very like, you know, save the forest, you know,
Yeah.
be one with nature, versus like the industrial. Is this sort of the same mentality, or is there a different political statement he's trying to make here?
Well, I think there's a heavy theme on family here. So someone's
Yeah.
gonna die.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
Good
Like,
point. Yeah.
it feels like family and death
Yeah.
don't go together. Tearjerker, I feel it coming.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like coming for sure.
Yeah, I mean, especially that shot where you see him like they're like crying. There's one of the kids is crying, and they kind of like embrace Jake's avatar.
Yeah, it's that one.
You know, which leads you kind of think that Zoe Saldana's character might
Somebody,
be the one
you know.
that
And
doesn't
seconds
make
after
it,
they're on
yeah.
the boat, like
I
underwater.
like her character.
And it's
That would
like
suck.
sinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just, oh god. And then there's smoke in the
Maybe
background,
it's
like
his
this
pet
obviously
fish.
conflict. It looks so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting theories though. I think
Like, if you lived underwater, would you have a pet fish?
Oh yes, many.
if you lived underwater,
Pet
would you
fish?
have a pet fish? Yes,
At
I
school.
would.
You
A
wouldn't have a
porpoise.
dog.
It's not a fish.
And
mean,
I would
maybe
train
pet
them so like when I
turtle.
put my arms out,
Pets
they
to
would
eat turtle.
come swimming out.
Yeah.
Turtle. I love it.
And then, so I guess we can assume that the Na'vi can just breathe underwater forever, or
True,
do
they never established that, did they? But there is a water tribe, so I presume so.
Right. I wonder if
maybe.
they connect. If they connect with an animal? You know how they can like connect.
Oh, they are
their
connected.
hair. and so they can,
Yeah.
if they connect, maybe they can breathe underwater as long as the animal can.
Or maybe they could just hold their breath for a very long time.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because
Yeah.
there's like
They
this
don't have
one girl and
gills or
she's
anything.
underwater and her mouth is open and she's like smiling, like. So,
Yeah,
so-
that's a pretty shallow shot, but yeah, I mean, but she's riding something too, like another animal, and it looks like she's
And she's
connected to
attached.
it.
I couldn't help
Yeah.
but think mermaids.
Very
I kept
good
thinking
point,
mermaids.
actually.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't
so
riding anything. She's sort of just swimming up to it and looking at stuff. But I do think that maybe it looks.
No, she's riding like
Are you guys scrolling the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've been.
I'm
It's
I'm
just so
actually
gorgeous,
scrolling it
mate.
on YouTube, like
so
it's
beautiful.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because she's swimming in on her own to this like thing. That she's
Go
taking a
later,
look at.
later. About 1 minute, 1 minute in.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
Just
Sorry,
here.
yeah, 59 seconds. Yeah,
But maybe you're right. Yeah,
it's
maybe
interesting,
they
and
connect. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, and they're all. Oh, this I think could be Kate Winslet's character.
in the
I don't
background
know,
there.
but I presume that that's her.
Oh yeah, maybe.
She seems to be like
Yeah,
the
she does-
leader of the water tribe. maybe?
Yeah, she's cast
be.
as a character named Ronal, and of the Navi of the Metakaina tribe, which is I guess the water tribe.
Nice.
Um,
Oh, that looks so cool. And I actually think that's kind of... It's interesting that they're going to explore this now because in the first film, there was a tribe that didn't show.
Uh-huh.
Wow, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. They didn't really establish all the different tribes. Like it
No.
felt very like, yeah, we're all
Rushed.
coming together, but they didn't be like, and we're bringing in the blah 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 tribe that is from the desert.
And they
or
brought the animals in too.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But they didn't really establish like what the different tribes were, or how they function, or anything. It was very much just like, let's all get together and fight.
You know, you have to be some fucking stubborn human beings to be like, the whole planet came together. Animals and everything, man. It was wild. And took us out of the fucking sky and like basically shoot us home. And now we're like, oh yeah? Well, fucking take
Yeah.
some of this shit. Like, what?
You
Why
haven't been
are
to
humans,
America
you
lately,
know?
I guess.
Fucking
Yeah.
humans.
Do you think
stubborn.
jerks?
because they had their tree that was like the center of their tribe, do you think they have like a reef that's maybe like their version or like something like
I would think so. I mean, maybe we get a glimpse of it right at the beginning of the trailer when they're like flying up to like the. Or there's that shot, which is like a mind-blowing shot. It's at the a minute 2 mark where they come up underwater like a lagoon almost, but then like you could see this like really cool crescent where there's like a moon
Yeah.
that's kind of like where the sun's peeking out behind a moon,
Yeah.
and like the rock formation curves to meet that crescent. It's
That's a
that-
beautiful shot.
Look,
That is a
that
beautiful
right there,
shot.
that's like an artist like having a fever dream that made that an art, and James Cameron's like, we're gonna make that real. And like the rocks are floating. It's super cool.
and they're curved.
Oh, I love
What did
that.
you
I
think
wanna-
of, not jumping ship, but what did you think of Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I mean, no spoilers. It's
La,
good.
la, la, la.
Yeah, no spoilers. Actually, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. My wife was kind of like on it, but I'm a huge Raimi fan, and so there was a lot of like nods to his like filmmaking and his sort of background, which felt really fun for me. I enjoy his films and the way he creates moments and tension and horror in a weird way. So I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. The ending felt a little flat for me. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just felt like it felt like, oh, by the way, we did this thing, and then the credits roll, and you're like, oh, that's it. There's not going to be. I felt like there should have been something more. I don't know why. I felt
God,
like
if you're
we're
talking about it like this, I'm gonna hate it.
no,
I'm trying to be super spoiler free though. Like it's a you have
Yeah.
to really kind of
Yeah.
gauge what you
yeah,
say.
yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I'm not trying to spoil it, but listen,
no
again,
spoilers in chat,
I
please.
liked it. Like I like Doctor Strange as a character. I think I like the first movie. I like the fact that it goes into different worlds, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Like the first Doctor Strange movie, like the way they would visualize like the collapsing of like, the realms and the mirror universe and stuff like that. I nerd out on that stuff. Kind of like what we're doing with Avatar when we go to different worlds and see things in a unique way. Like I don't know why. I just the visual delight of that is enough to just hold me versus sort of like like another film, like a Black Widow, where you know, there's not a lot of new. We're not seeing anything new, but the action's fun. You know, so this is all like wild stuff that's going on. That's cool for me.
Would you recommend it? Would you recommend Doctor Strange too?
Oh, look at this transition.
What a good segue
What
into
a
that.
fucking
Yeah.
segue.
What a good segue.
Are you?
Yeah, we got.
Do you do YouTube, sir?
Do you do
Sir,
YouTube?
are you a producer?
I'm like, we got a 1 o'clock now, Drew. So I'm,
Bro.
I'm pushing this to the end.
Yeah. No, good
Go for it,
point.
go
Good
for it,
point.
yeah.
I wasn't home. So we have a new segment we're gonna do every week. It's called What We Recommend. We're just gonna do a quick roundtable, and because we all consume stuff, and we all you know, we're talking about trailers now, but we also like to watch movies and read books and comics and TV. So I thought it'd be a nice time for us to just kind of like tell you guys what we're into and anything that we recommend. So Doctor Strange wasn't going to be my pick, but why don't I give it off to you, PJ? You can start.
Oh, I'm not ready. Go. I'll go last.
Oh,
You sprung this on me today.
I know. That's why I was going to put you in the hot seat. All right,
Yeah.
all right, Stephanie, what do you got?
Oh no. Okay.
What do you recommend?
Well, I watched it recently. I guess I'll recommend it. But the Dropout with Amanda Seyfried, I watched that, and my mom and I could not stop like talking about it. Like it was just crazy because I remember briefly, like vaguely, like that stuff all happening with Elizabeth, and now I'm blanking on the name of the company. But like watching this stuff, I was like, holy crap! Like I can't believe that they lied and created a company, and like it's just really interesting. And she also affected other, you know, women who are in the same industry as her, like for their future. So it's kind of crazy, you know. And so that was a interesting watch.
Cool. So that was the Dropout.
And that's on Hulu.
I was going to
Hulu,
ask you where
Dropout
that's
on
on.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool
Cool.
recommendation. Pagan, what do you got for us?
I was racking my brains about this, and I didn't watch this recently, but it has been in my brain recently because there's currently a TV show about this documentary, and it's called The Staircase. I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen the
No.
episodes, like the new TV series with Colin Firth or anything like that, but
I was
it's
just gonna
a
say, yeah.
documentary on Netflix that's currently available, and it's so fascinating. The premise is this woman has died. There's a 911 call. They go over to the house, and there's just blood everywhere, and she's found at the bottom of the stairs. And it's this big murder mystery, and it's just
Cool.
such a good documentary. Highly recommend watching it. It does take a minute, like it's a slow burn, but would highly recommend watching this Staircase documentary. And then I might have a look at the episodes, the series that's about it, see what's going on.
Is that on HBO or is that Stars? I forget.
That's actually on Netflix as well.
Netflix?
Oh, that is as well.
Yeah, it's a Netflix series, I believe, based on that documentary. So highly recommend that.
So the Staircase on Netflix. So I got one question.
Yeah.
Is there like a satisfying conclusion? Like, do they solve?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't tell you that.
Yeah,
It's
spoiler.
it's
Okay.
super. Yeah, it's spoilery, but it is super interesting, and I feel
Okay.
like at the end of it, I was kind of like, wait, all right, wait, and then I couldn't believe that that's kind of how this documentary would end. I guess I don't know about the TV
Okay.
show, so I would love for you guys to watch that and like let's chat because
All right.
it's good. It's
That
good.
sounds cool. Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Any recommendations for you, Drew, other than the madness?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do recommend Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's fun. Go see it. But everybody's gonna go see it. It's made bazillions of dollars. But what I do want to recommend, which might not be on everyone's radar, hopefully it is if you're a sci-fi fan. Star Trek launched a new series called Strange New Worlds. And Star Trek is firing on all cylinders right now. They got like two cartoons going that are both awesome. They got Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, which is great. It's been on like 4 seasons, 5th coming soon. Star Trek Picard, which just wrapped up its 2nd season. I have thoughts on that. It's okay. But listen, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is going back to kind of like the old school roots. It's technically takes place about 8 years before Kirk took control of the Enterprise. The Enterprise, it's Captain Pike captaining the Enterprise, but you see some familiar faces from the original series, like Uhura, a young Uhura. You see Nurse Chapel, Spock, a young Spock. So, and every episode is episodic, meaning like it wraps up the story in that
Oh.
episode. So it's not like
Oh, how cool.
typical TV nowadays where it's like we're gonna tell like this great big long arc over like 8 or 10 episodes, and every episode sort of like leaves on a cliffhanger. No, this is very old school, hopeful. Very I watched the first episode, and right away it felt like Star Trek because it felt like I got served like a lesson, like a show where you're like, oh, I felt like I learned about humanity today, and
There's a
but
moral
that's what
to the
Star
story,
yeah,
yeah.
there's like a moral to the story, and I was like, oh, that's what and it kind of uplifted you a bit like after you watched it. It's kind of like Ted Lasso but without the jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like you walk away feeling like, oh, I'm
Interesting,
kind
yeah.
of hopeful. If people watch this show, I'm hopeful for humanity. So I recommend Star Trek Stranger Worlds. It's great sci-fi. The ship looks amazing. It's like starship porn. It's so good. It looks great on Paramount Plus. So go check that out.
Nice.
DJ, you've had plenty of time. What do you got for me?
I'll just talk about what I'm doing then, because I've started watching the Boys cartoon. It's really good. I recommend it.
Interesting.
That came out.
For those that are reading, that are readers, Will Wheaton's done John Scalzi's new book called The Kaiju Preservation Society. If you want a quick, fun sci-fi book that explains where Godzilla came from, it's kind of fun. So, and
That
Will
is
Wheaton
fun.
reads it, so he always has. I love his voice when he narrates books, and of course I love anything Scalzi puts out. Is it really hardcore sci-fi for sci-fi nerds? No, it's meant for just a quick popcorn, and it's a lot of fun. So give it a read. The Kaiju Preservation Society.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Thank you. Well,
And that's on that's on Audible. Do you usually
I'm
to your
listening
Audible?
to it. I'm not actually reading it. I got it on Audible.
nice.
Yeah, on Audible. Yeah, awesome. But you can get the book though? It's out on.
Oh yeah, you
hardback
can
and
get the
all
book
that, yeah.
too. I just,
Yeah.
all the driving we do, it's easier to flip a book on and then listen to
know.
it as opposed to.
That's cool.
Yeah, because we can only do pop culture, right? Because I'm reading a really good book called Recapture the Rapture about the future of society, and it follows neurosociology, and it
Ooh.
is wild. And
Wow.
his remedy is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So that's what made me pick
Oh.
the book up.
All
I
right.
mean,
That'll sell you a
it
book.
sounds like a cult though.
Oh yeah, I would sign up to this guy's cult in a heartbeat.
Yeah, right. Come join our cult. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Now
really
drink this
simplified
Kool-Aid.
it. I
Yeah.
really simplified that, but it's
No, I
there.
feel you.
It's there.
I feel you. Yeah. No, that's
How's
good.
the
That's good
boys?
stuff.
Is it good?
The boys
animated?
cartoon is really good. It's
Is it?
if you like the boys gross and weird and shocking, it's there.
I
Yeah.
like the use of the different animated styles. When I watched the trailer, I thought it was cool that each
That's
episode
Yeah,
like,
it
had a
worked.
different.
But if you want really
animation.
gross and weird, did you ever watch Brand New Cherry Flavor?
I did.
I
Brought that
saw a clip of that on
loved
TikTok
it.
somewhere where it was like the most uncomfortable
kitten scene?
heterosexual PG-13 love scene. Or
Oh,
something
okay. I
like
know the one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know the one? And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
all over TikTok, and people were reacting to it, and they're like, I don't know if I could put this on TikTok. It might get taken down. They're like, but I have no idea why it would, because it's just watch it. And I was like, okay, will do.
You got to
Scar
watch the
me
whole
twice.
series. You
You
really
gotta
got to
watch
sit
it.
I
down
don't
and
know if I
commit
want
to the
to now.
whole series.
Yeah. We're
It
scared.
was
Pretty
weird,
fucking
but I
scary.
made it to the end, and I was like, I want more. Like oddly, like,
Yeah. Look at it.
Right,
Anthony
Daisy?
loved it,
Is there
and he
going to be a
hates
season
everything.
2? Do you know if it got
I don't
greenlit
know.
for-
I don't know.
I think it was just a
it's-
limited series.
It's way out there, man. It is
That's
way
cool.
out there.
That's how
like
I
you
It's
have
about a
interpret those now.
disgruntled screenwriter in Hollywood. I mean, it's very
Oh, interesting.
what's that? David Lynch? Is it what was that
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
What was that weird writer guy?
Yeah.
Is it David Lynch? Yeah, it's very much in that
That's
world.
funny. Yeah, that's where I am. If I don't catch a show like during its run and it's already ended, I kind of like wait and see if it gets renewed for season 2 before I'm like, I'll jump into that. You know,
Yeah,
so I don't
yeah,
get,
yeah, just in case.
so I don't watch a whole season and then be like get pissed off when they don't renew it. That's
Or
kind of
waste
where
your
I am right
time
now
in a
in
whole
life.
season and be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Ugh."
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That's funny.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on Trailer Talk today to talk about Avatar. I think we all are real excited about what James Cameron's going to bring us in December. and four more, five more, who knows how many more avatars that are coming down the pipeline. We will be in Avatar Pandora heaven, as they say. So thanks for joining us. I'm Drew.
Hit the like, do the subscribe shit, all that stuff we're supposed to tell you to do. Please
yeah,
do that.
all that. Like, click.
Give us
We're-
love.
Also, you can find us if you're not big on the YouTube. You can download us and listen to us in your ears as a podcast on iTunes and Spotify and all that jazz. So it's really cool. Yeah. No, we sound really good in cars.
We
Yes.
sound great.
And
in
come
cars.
over to
Sounds amazing.
couchsoup.com.
The
Come over to
best.
couchsoup.com. Give
Yes.
it lots more of
And-
this stuff.
And listen, guys, CouchSoup.com is great. It's what supports this show. It's what supports a lot of other shows that we do for the YouTube channel and other things. So go over there. You can even join for free and just be a part of the community. We got a great community over there. So, but if you want to support and kind of see more content, there's a great way to do that with tiers that have some great perks and more coming down the pipeline. So we'd love it if you went over there and kind of hung out with us and get some more one-on-one time with Drew, Pagan, PJ, and Steph. Yeah, I was like, did I forget somebody?
Wow.
I did.
And Steph's just there like,
No, it's because I said my name in the third person, which I never do, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just say
Yeah,
my name?
yeah, that's
and
kinda
it
weird.
threw me, and that was really weird.
that's
I
how he
don't know why
really
I do
speaks,
that.
guys. He always talks in third person
Yeah,
except for on
I'm-
trailer.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a narcissist, Drew.
Walks into the
Wait,
bedroom
what?
at
Drew's gonna
nighttime. The
take
Drew is here.
The
The
Drew
Drew-
is here. The Drew is thirsty.
So, yeah, and then my wife's like, "Put your pants back on. You need to."
Go feed the baby.
The Drew
We
is
are.
sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody.
On that note, I'm gonna go cry. I'll see you
Drew
guys
is
later.
gonna go cry.
We're just gonna go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.